Come on, let's be positive. Just stop right there. No negativity. Let's be positive. LBP, let's be positive.
LBP, let's be positive. We've got so much to be positive. Oh, God, that's right, the cricket. But at least we'll be positive about the Warriors and the Dogs. Global warming and Twizel we can celebrate because it is actually a reality. Lenu gets 8 weeks, Matt. That's a real line in the sand from the NRL. Your Highlanders are winning, mate, and Liverpool for the title. But let's start with the bloody cricket because the Black Caps have blown an absolute opportunity there. Not just that test, I believe the series as well. The big Australian cricket bogeyman was there for the taking, mate.
Cameron Green in the first test turned things around and changed the entire match. And I thought that Henry had secured the second test for the Black Caps. At no point until the final runs were scored yesterday did I think we were a certainty to win. There were times when I thought we were. There were times when I certainly thought we were gone. And when Sears came on yesterday and took 2 in 2 balls, I messaged you and said, yours to lose.
Yeah.
Next minute, we're hitting the winning runs. There'll be long discussions around that, and I'm not sure whether they were one really good bowler away from winning it. There was obviously very little in the pitch for spin. You needed pace and seamers and bounce. Maybe they needed another bowler, but I tell you what, close. But after how many years, Martin? 31?
Nah.
Still no cigar. It's your Bledisloe, isn't it?
Well, it is, and it's psychological as much as anything else because opportunities are there. I agree with you. Poor bowling selections. Green's knock in Wellington, the difference between the two teams. When we have had the opportunities, and it comes back, mate, to that first T20 where you needed 34 or 35 off 2 overs, we should have slammed the door in your face. We had opportunities during the Test series to do exactly the same, and we just are incapable of owning those moments, and we let you wriggle off the hook. Frustrating also, and I hope it's not taken out of context, but Daryl Mitchell interviewed by Sens Radio afterwards, and he's come out with a quote which is just getting absolutely lambasted now all over social media, which is, we're not defined by results, we're not defined by outcomes. A couple of things here. New Zealand cricket have straitjacketed these players so much that I actually feel that they are just pre-programmed now that they've got about 3 or 4 responses to every question. It's the Kane Williamson, we're taking the learnings and learning the takings kind of thing. What I wanted from Daryl yesterday, and I love this guy as a player and I want him to be a captain, Matt, is I want to see a New Zealand cricketer sitting there with his head in his hands at the press conference going, I'm effing gutted. I'm spewing. We blew that. We had them and we blew it. And I'm sorry, New Zealand cricket fans, because you should be celebrating a goddamn win. This one's going to hurt a while. I don't want to see somebody smiling and saying, we just want the kids to know that we play great cricket and I'm off to a $2 million IPL contract. That's why I'm bitter and twisted.
I would be too. And I agree with you 100%. Pat Cummins after the match, you could see how much it meant to him. He couldn't stop talking about pulling off the win. He knew how close it was. There's none of this, we would have been happy with a second place in this one and New Zealand deserved it. They got out there and they got the job done. They gutsed it out. There were players that just put their hand up when they needed to, and it was Alex Carey in this second Australian innings. He was probably the defining moment, or his score 98 not out. But they were delighted with the win. And yet to try and convince people that they should come and watch you when results aren't important to them, it just seems mind-blowing. And that
it's
is
just
management.
crazy, isn't it? Yeah.
It's got to be management.
Well, it is
I
management,
want to know they want to win.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought they could have been more aggressive, actually, with some of their fields. And but, there was plenty of moments in that test where it could have gone either way. And there were even chances later in the day that with a little bit of luck, Black Caps would have taken some catches behind the wickets. But that's not how it played out. And that's what it's like watching the Bledisloe every year. You think you're in with a chance, and then even when you're close, you're still not that close.
That's it. Look, but we live vicariously, and I know we're a bunch of sad gits and everything else, but if sport is not about winning, don't play. Don't play. Because at that level especially, it's only about results and it's only about outcomes, and that's exactly how you were defined. You would have been defined as a team that was generational in New Zealand cricket. You can't tell me you're not affected by that. And if you aren't affected by that, if you've been dulled by the fact you've got a $5 million house and a $3 million beach house and so many millions of dollars of cash in the bank, and now you're going to play for the Saudi G Rangers platform shockers, I mean, bollocks, mate. Because what counts and what you're remembered for is winning test matches for New Zealand. And so that's why I think Coney and Smith, good on them for reacting like that. And all us old guys will react like that. And the Instagram 30-second attention span dick pic crowd, mate, in 20 years' time, you're going to be looking at all us old trolls and going, you know what? They were right. These guys, don't give a stuff about it and nothing means anything anymore.
Yeah, I think sometimes that, maybe we analyse too harshly the things that are said, but it would be so easy to say we just cannot believe we didn't win that one.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a slap in the face to anyone. Literally, they're 1 or 2 balls away from breaking a 3-decade drought here. And yet we're not that concerned with the
outcome,
the W or the L. It doesn't make any sense, and I don't even think that he believes it, and I don't believe that he believes it, and I don't think anyone believes it. It's all well and good to say we've got kids, we're trying to get them involved in sport, we're trying to get them active outdoors. And so, for some of those kids that don't have a competitive spirit, they try and gloss over the results. All right, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-year-olds, 10-year-olds, they probably don't need to be playing for the win every week, but they still know what it means. But once you leave that, you start going into representative sport, it's all about winning. The funding's about winning.
Yeah,
for many of these athletes. If they don't perform, they're on the bones of their ass for the next 4 years. It is about winning. It's about excellence. It's about taking the moments. And while ever you just accept it, regardless of how flippant the comments are, it's hard for people to buy in to the fact that we want to be at the next sold-out test. We want you to win, and we want you to say you're going to win, or at least want to win, and it hurt when you don't win.
LBP,
anyway.
Let's be positive. Warriors and doggies.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
It's a little bit hard to be positive about either of those. Warriors played very well in the first half. We discussed before the game whether or not they had enough in the area of attack. It looked to me during the first half that they were going to have 2 or 3 avenues for attack, and then it all disappeared, and they should have been 24 points up in the first half. They had about 25 or 30 minutes in, they'd had 90% of the ball. They completed a huge amount of sets. They finished the game with more ball. And yet they just looked a little bit lost in the second half. Yeah, and I've got to say about the Dogs, they were lost all game. So...
lucky it's a long season.
Every time Lachlan calls me, isn't it supposed to be your year? This is your year. This is your year.
Yeah.
We're 1 week in. Our year's not over yet, but it didn't start well.